Hello everybody, my name is Todd. I live here in Key West, and I wanted to start making some videos, basically to encourage some more dialogue about the coronavirus and how it can, and basically how it's going to affect our island community specifically. So first of all, I wanted to make a video. Today is the 25th. Right? I actually have no idea what day of the week it is, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. It's 25th of March, and that's that. Every day things change, so I just, figured I'd throw in the date. So first things first, video number one, I'd like to say that I think that it's here in Key West right now. I think it's traveling around, and I think that this is the time in our community where basically a bunch of people are getting it, and nobody knows they are. But first things first, let's just go ahead, and I believe that it is in Key West for these reasons, right? The first one, besides the fact that we already have a confirmed case of a woman in Key West who hasn't traveled, right? So that in and of itself kind of shows that it's here. But for all of the factors that I think would contribute, right? I think another important one is that we're right next to Miami, right? The way that these things have worked in the past, and the way that this one has worked already in places where it has hit earlier. It starts seeding itself in a certain place, and then it sort of oozes out into the communities nearby. So it starts in Miami. Right now, as of today, in Dade County, there's 338 confirmed cases. In Broward County, there's 311. There's already 650 people, and those are just confirmed cases. Right now, the tests are only limited to people over the age of 65, safety officials, and healthcare workers. So that the majority of cases are, in other places, are of people who are under the age of 70. So, that's only confirmed. So that's already a lot of people, right? We have people who come all the time, not just visitors, but workers, Uber drivers, just a whole bunch of people who work in the community who come every single day and have been coming every single day from these places where there are lots of cases of an extremely communicable disease. Now, let me see. Yeah, so you can also just, an example of this is New York spreading into Connecticut and New Jersey, right? Basically, it's just oozing into those other places because it has a stream of workers going from one place to another. So next, it's the fact that we are an international tourist destination. There's even a chance that we got our first cases in here. I firmly believe that some people think they got it back in December and January. There's a horrible sickness, and I've heard more people than not say that they had a miserable sickness. Now, whether or not that was just a particularly shitty flu season, which is the case, people say it was a really annoying flu season everywhere, or in a lot of places around the country, especially in this area. But you know what? I think that there's a chance that people could have brought it here already. And the reason is because, first of all, tourism season, our population more than doubles from 25,000 residents to 53,000, right? And that also includes service members and, things that come with the tourists, whatever else. So there's a lot of people during the time that this came out, right? International flights, cruise ships. Cruise ships themselves are 30% of our economy this time of year usually. So it's just like an enormous amount of people getting dumped every single day onto this island. Over 25,000 people more. So anyway, there's that. And then... Yep. So the fact, we know we had people here from China. We're an international tourist destination. It's not like the Chinese people are going to freaking small town, Idaho or, Maine right now. Like, no one's going out there. Everyone's coming here. It's just the way it is. So to think that we're more likely that it's in our community because of that, I think that's a perfectly reasonable thing to think of. And then finally, I think that the tests are just a really poor indicator. People say, oh, there's only 4 confirmed cases, which... there's 4 confirmed cases as of today, but as of yesterday there were 3, right? But whatever. So far there's been 50 negatives and 70 tests, at least. I'm using 3 different sources for those. So Unfortunately, they might not all be combined, but that's the best information that I have for right now. And the state of Florida has limited tests, and right now they're having huge breakouts in other places north of here. And frankly, a test is much more prudently used on a healthcare worker or an elderly person in those communities instead of people down here. It's just the case that that is the way it is, right? And in fact, a lot of people have just found that it's completely unavailable. My neighbor came here from South Korea. He returned from South Korea. This was 3 weeks ago, right? 3 weeks. He tried every single day. He's a responsible older man. He showed no symptoms, right? And he still chose to self-isolate. However, he's tried every day to get a test and he hasn't been able to because they're just not available. They're just not there. So to say that, oh, there's only so many confirmed cases, no, they're just not there. There's no confirmed cases because there's nobody getting tested. The only lady for a while who was the only one in the whole Florida Keys that got tested was from the per capita wealthiest community, which is Ocean Key, outside of Key West. I mean, so it's like, it's clearly she was just a rich person who like had a connection and then got figured out. It's like, oh yeah, she's being taken care of. But I think that it's fair to assume that there are more cases in the area and that there's just no way of knowing for just a whole bunch of reasons, because it's a disease that likes to hide and it hides for a really long time, and then it spreads through communities, and then it very slowly begins to show itself. And if that's the case, if it's in the area, right? Basically, that just means that we should be mindful. There's controlled versus non-controlled areas, right? Controlled would be like the grocery store, and that would be, there are wipes. You can wipe your hands. You can stay 6 feet from people. You can use those little things. I recommend wiping off your grocery cart because people touch those all day. I would hope that they're doing it already. I don't know if they are. I know that senior time is between, I believe it's 7 and 8, but I would double check. I know that they have hours for seniors, which is great. But yeah, and then non-controlled environments are basically chilling with your friends, So anyway, if we presume that we already have it in our community, then there are a series of things that we should be thinking about, and I will make further videos on that. But this video is supposedly specifically to just prove that it's in Key West. So if you think I'm full of shit, I'm really happy to hear it. I really hope I'm wrong. I really hope that we're not going to get hit hard by this thing. But the reality is that every community that has been hit so far has thought that, oh, it's not going to come to my community. I mean, obviously, that's just the way that people think until it gets to their community. And so we just need to be one step ahead. And I think that, right now, this video is sort of meant to spread awareness. So anyway, I'm putting this on YouTube and Reddit to start. And if you guys, if anybody thinks that there's anything wrong with what I have to say, then tell me, please. Like, I'm really interested in knowing more, and I think that as a community, we can figure out the best decisions that we should be making right now. So anyway, Todd out.